Just out here living the dream, shooting in the desert in Colorado. There's a reason that I moved to a place called Rifle, and it's not because I'm an idiot, although I can't deny that I am, sadly. It has nothing to do with where I moved and everything to do with the many character flaws I have. But we're not here to talk about shit like that. We're here to fuck shit up. So that is what we're gonna do. So this pistol, because it's a revolver and it's the cylinder doesn't come out, it's actually the Old West style of getting rid of the shells, where you half cock the hammer and then it's got a tab right here. That tab pushes a rod out that pushes the shell out for you. I mean, it's slow, but it's actually really satisfying. And then it's got to be half cocked to load her up. Give her the old road up. What did you just say? What did you just call me? Alrighty then, and then here is the star of the show today, the Keltec CP33. And I just went home and finally got my hands on a spare red dot and a laser. See that? You're about to get sniped. You do not mess. If someone has a laser on their gun, they obviously are pretty extreme badass, and you definitely do not want to mess with them. You know what I'm saying? I know that from experience because I have a laser on my gun. You can trust everything I say, by the way, because massive penis. I mean, I'm trustworthy. That's why. Just playing with the brightness on it, trying to get it dialed in a little bit. That's so badass. I gotta show you guys that. Not looking down the sights at all. Only using the laser. That's 33. Oh man, I wasn't even filming the right thing. That's when you try to do two things at once and neither one works out right. Oh, well, we know it works. We know it's awesome. We'll be back here maybe tomorrow even at sunset because it's so hard to see during the day. I actually waited all day to come out here. I mean, I guess we could load it up again. I mean, I do have another, we'll load it up again. We'll do it. This is, you know, I wouldn't normally do it, but you've been good recently. You know, your mother said you cleaned up the house the other day. So you know what? This one time I'm going to make an exception. We'll get another 33 on deck here. Just going to take a minute while we fire them into the magazine. I say, God damn it, Bobby. Oh, that's right. So the CP33 comes with pretty decent fiber optic sights to start with. And I would say putting a red dot, and I mean, it's got a ton of real estate. You know what I'm saying? And where it's a mid-handled pistol gun. I mean, I was shooting that one-handed, so obviously it's very light and easy to control. I was shaking a little bit like Michael J. Fox, but that's because I didn't have the control of second hand on the gun. So, you know, it is what it is. But I would say if I was going to review this gun, the magazines when I first got them were a little bit challenging to load. And at first I was like, man, this thing is a piece of junk. But after you load them a couple times and you get the springs compressed, because the springs were wicked stiff when it was new. That was part of the issue. It was causing issues with getting these bullets to feed down in. The spring was just fighting everything you were trying to do. But I would say this thing is amazing. If you're looking for one stop, if you don't have any 22s, you want to start with a 22 pistol. A lot of people are going to talk about the Ruger Mark IVs, and is it Ruger Mark IV? Yeah, Ruger Mark IV, and then there's, oh, the Browning C something. But these are like target pistols. I personally put this Kel-Tec in that category. Absolutely fantastic trigger. I have ARs that have 2.5 pound triggers, flat bow CMC triggers, and for stock trigger, this trigger's fantastic. I bought a mil-spec AR from SIG. That trigger group was garbage. I mean, I'm sure it'd be great for some idiot in law enforcement who doesn't have good trigger control, and you are in stressful situations. So law enforcement does run stiffer triggers, but when you're an absolute stud like me who just can't be stopped, heavy triggers are going to fuck your shooting up. So wouldn't recommend it. Recommend light triggers and figure out how to shoot a damn gun. Don't rely on a heavyweight trigger to prevent you from accidentally discharging your weapon. I, knock on wood, and there is some right here, have never had an accidental discharge, even with 2-3 pound triggers, because you keep your finger off the trigger. Finger straight. You don't engage that trigger till you are pointed down range and ready to fire at whatever thing you're about to point that gun at. Cock tuck. The other things that I really like about it is the 33 round capacity, and it comes with 2 of these magazines. Seems to cycle very reliably. This ammo is at least 15 years old, maybe 20. Just grabbed it from home and brought it out here to Colorado. Drove here from New Hampshire. Brought a bunch of stuff with me, a bunch of toys, a bunch of fun stuff. Yeah, I don't know that, and there we go, it's full. I didn't, you know, it's like happens before you even know it. You're having so much fun loading the gun up that you're like, I don't even want to shoot anymore. You know, this is fantastic on its own. No shooting required, boys. All right, we're going down range. Weapons hot. We got one in the chamber. This time, okay. Is that gonna stay there? Probably not. Love it. This time I'm gonna set the camera up because I can't do this whole shooting, and of course I left my stupid tripod at home. So here we are, we're winging it. We're making things happen in less than ideal circumstances. That's life advice. This is not just shooting, you know, we're talking about how to make it through this shit heap kerfuffle that we have somehow landed into. I'm not exactly sure how we got here, but we are here. I think that's, I mean, it's probably good enough, but let's get it. Perfect. Nailed it. All right. Laser on. Okay. Okay, not yet. Here we go. I don't know if you can see the laser, but it is on. You know what? You guys are going to have to watch this because I'm lazy, but I'm going to pick some of these up real quick. Man, I've been shooting so I have been shooting a lot of pellet guns recently because I didn't have all my 22s out here, and I'm going to do a review on that Ruger. I think it's the Airhawk Max wood stock. Cost me about $169. Complete junk, and started to make me question if I was able to actually shoot a firearm. Didn't have really any of my other guns except for my AR-15s and 10s. So I didn't have anything cheap and fun to shoot. So I went and bought this stupid pellet gun, and it basically ruined my life and my self-esteem. because a couple shots you'll nail it, and then suddenly the thing's way off base. And if you shoot it in another 10 shots, somehow it comes back in. So for a while I was making the mistake of trying to adjust and compensate for scope drift or whatever I thought was happening. It just turns out the thing is wildly inaccurate. So anyway, here we go. I'm just going to use the laser. I'm not using the sights. So I am looking at the object. I'm not looking at the sights of the weapon. Oh, first misfire. And it is a double feed. So I got the bullet out. Let's see. I'll just put that in my pocket. We'll deal with that later. Perfect. Okay, I think that cleared it.
Sorry, could you say that again?
Shut up, sir. Nope. We did not feed around. Let's try again. There we go. Oh, I just shot the lid off it. Boom! 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 And that's it. There goes another 33. I love the laser. I'm a big fan. Yes, please. So this loads up way faster than those magazines. Off the top of my head, this is a Marlin Model 60 semi-auto, 22 long range. Marlin's out of business. Ruger just bought them. I called to get a shroud for this thing because I saw online it's supposed to have a stainless hood for this front orange plastic sight, and the rear is I think this is carbon fiber, but it might just be plastic. But it's the rear sight is black, the front sight is orange. Real nice little dovetail sight. You just drop the very pointy point of that plastic orange across the tiny notch in this sight. This thing is very accurate, very fun to shoot. I've got like nothing on this because this is just a running around in the woods gun. Just fun to go run around, shoot sticks off trees and stuff like that. I think the capacity, this is a tube fed, so you just pull this out and you drop your rounds in here. This thing loads up real quick. I think it's 12+1, but that's from memory a long time ago. I haven't looked this up in forever. I'm gonna load this real quick. I will count, let you know what the actual load count is. So I was off by a couple rounds. This is, it took 15, so probably 16 total, 15 plus 1. Excellent trigger. I bought this from Walmart in 2005-ish. So I don't think, you can't still get this gun, but I love this gun. Ruger is supposed to start manufacturing some of Marlin's products, but they just bought them. So I called to get that part and they're like, we don't have anything geared up and ready to manufacture. This gun could be coming back. I'm not a Ruger fanboy, so I don't know. Buy at your own risk, because I'm not sure that it's worth it. But here we go. We're gonna pop 15 of these bad boys off. It's getting dark, so this is another point in time where this orange front sight makes it so that you can still see decently well. But it is kind of challenging. That's it. All right, I've got a scope 22 back there. I'm just gonna pop a couple shots off with that. And then it's probably gonna be so dark. You guys are in the midpoint between me and the target, so whether you guys care or not, I think it's going to be pretty interesting to hear the bullets and see if they sound different where you're not behind the point of origin. You're hearing them in flight as they go past, so who knows, maybe it will sound, you know, stupid and everybody will leave because they're like, that was terrible, but on the off chance it's not, here goes nothing. Didn't even bring my mic today. I was just coming out here to shoot, and I just decided to do this last minute, so, you know, it is what it is. All right. Thank you for tuning in. That was awful. And, you know, I appreciate you guys just bearing with me and biting the wooden spoon because I know it's painful. I feel it too, okay? But things are going to get better. I can't guarantee that, but I'm saying it. So just believe it.